Hey guys, so today I'm going to be making a video on this 22 long rifle conversion kit. So I made a short about it and everybody had a lot of questions about it, and I tried to answer those, to reply to those comments, as I tried to answer them as best as I could, but a video is just, you'll be able to see everything and decide whether you should get one or not. So basically how this works is it converts your AR-15 to 22, and all it takes is you take out your standard AR-15 bolt carrier group and put in this. This is the 22 long rifle CMMG BRAVO 22 long rifle conversion kit. And all it requires to switch your gun, a 5.56. You can't use this on obviously like 300 blackout and AR-10s. This is for AR-15 style weapons, chambered in 5.56. But you can see here, all it takes is this bolt carrier group and this magazine. And so, because obviously you can't use your 5.56 magazine to shoot 22. So there's a couple different configurations you can buy of these. You can buy the kit, at least on Midway USA, which is where I purchased this one. I believe I paid around $160 for it at the time, which was about 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. So basically with the kit I got this bolt carrier group and I got one magazine. But they do have another option that I believe is around $220 maybe, where you get the bolt carrier group and 3 magazines. But I got the one with 1 magazine, and then I bought 2 other magazines later on. So, because you can buy them, and I believe they're around 20 to 30 bucks a piece. I'm not completely sure. I didn't check prices before this video. But I mean, you know, prices fluctuate around a lot. So, but anyways, how this works is it takes up this part. I'm gonna start in the front. This part basically takes up your chamber of your 5.56. So you can see it looks exactly like the 5.56 casing basically, because it's taking up all that space in that chamber, because 22 is obviously the 22 case is obviously much smaller, but it is about the same diameter bullet. 5.56 is 0.224 and 22 is actually 0.223. So basically it works fine because your rifling is basically designed for a 0.224 case or bullet, and 22 is basically the same thing because they're both 22 caliber projectiles. And obviously there's a lot more power and velocity on your 5.56, but it really works fine with 22. And this conversion kit I think was a super great idea for CMMG to think of, because I think my opinion is it really expands your capabilities of your AR-15. So basically how it works is this takes up your chamber, and then obviously your chamber for your 22 is in there, and you can see here's your actual bolt. You can see the feed ramp there, and it feeds it from the magazine, and then you have your extractor there and your ejector, which is this fin right here, and that's your basically stationary ejector. So then you got your guide rails, I guess, for your bolt, which your bolt slides on, and then you have your spring, your recoil spring and recoil spring guide rod. And so this uses its own recoil system, which is direct blowback. This does not use your gas system on your AR-15, so it's just this and your magazine to swap it over to 22. You don't need this doesn't use your buffer spring and your normal buffer. It's completely captured. It's all on its own here. So let me take it apart. It's pretty easy to take apart. All you have to do is pull this bolt back and then just spread apart these little guide rods here, or guide rails, and then you can slide your bolt out. There's your bolt, and you can see it has your extractor and your firing pin. Uses the same kind of roll pin as the AR-15 does, and so you can see that there, that's your bolt. And then this is basically your chamber, and obviously what takes up the space inside your 5.56 chamber. So after this piece, we've got the guide rails for the bolt, and there's not really a whole lot going on there. And then you got your this little fin is your stationary ejector, and then you've got your spring and your spring guide rod. So that's basically it. That's all there is really to this thing. It's really pretty simple. There's not a whole lot going on, and I've never had a whole bunch of issues with it. 22 is inherently a pretty dirty round. Just a lot of unburnt powder floating around, and I mean, if you have experience with 22, you'll understand what I'm talking about. There's just a lot of junk floating around in your gun after you use this. Maybe 500-600 rounds. It depends on also what kind of ammo you're using. This cheap Federal auto match stuff, you get it from Walmart. It works pretty good in it, but it's definitely dirtier than some of your CCI 22. But anyways, that's basically it. Just this. You put this in your AR, your 5.56 AR, and it turns into a 22. And I think that's pretty cool. That obviously opens up the capabilities a lot more, whether you just want to plink around with it just for fun. It can be a useful training tool too if you just want to get some training, get familiar with the controls of your AR. One thing this doesn't work with is this does not have last round bolt hold open. It doesn't work with your bolt catch or anything. So when you run out, it does catch on the follower, and I'll have some videos at the very end of this video of some shooting with this. Some of them are pretty old, and some of them are fairly recent. And I'll also have that video at the end of me using this. That same footage from that short, and basically me actually putting it in the gun and swapping it over to 22. But yeah, this and the magazine, it does kind of have last round bolt hold open. It catches on this orange follower here, but when you take out the magazine, the bolt just slams back forward. So yeah, that's really how simple it is. I think it's a pretty cool tool, like I was saying though, because you can plink around with it, or you can shoot a rabbit with it. You can hunt rabbits. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool tool. It opens up the capabilities of your AR-15 a lot more, I think. So anyways, I'll put those videos at the end, and have a nice day. Oh.